Hello bass family, and welcome to Everything Bass. I was just playing Slap Groove 19 and I wanted to kind of throw in some new ideas for you guys, at least new from what I've shown you before. You might already play some of these ideas, but I thought it'd be fun. And if you don't, here's some new toys for you to kind of mess with and add to your own improvisations, your own bass line corrections or creations. So what you might have noticed there is I started with this descending triplet line. They're 16th note triplets, and it's a pretty easy technique, actually. I think it's one of those sleight of hand things that, like, a magician shows you that, a magician shows you a trick, and then you're like, oh, that's not so hard. This one's not so hard. It might sound cool, but it's not so hard. Of the 4 16th note triplets, sets of triplets that we're playing, they all start with an open A. And then you hammer on. In this case, I'm hammering on to the A, and then I pop the octave of that note. Like that. Then I move down a half step, but I still use the open A. Then move down a half step. And yeah, so it's all right. And then that's my transition to get to the E. So let's talk about why I use those notes. So I'm going A, there's the A flat, G, and then G flat or F sharp. And then I'm going to the E. So I'm basically, what you're kind of hearing is this. And so I use that chromatic section of triplets moving down to kind of lead the ear to that E. I could have done it a fourth higher, moving to, so it ended on the B, which is the 5th of E, because 5-to-1 is a real strong resolution, but I just like the way this sounds. Okay? You mess with that. You can use it in other ways. You don't have to play 4 6. You can use just 2, just as a setup. But it's like cool sound, that open note, hammer on, pluck, open, hammer, pluck, like that. I like that sound. So after I come out of that, and if you are a Patreon subscriber and you check out the sheet music, you'll notice this is actually even though I start the pattern with this is the last half of a measure. Like if I was counting this into a band, I'd go 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's just a lead in, and it's actually the end of every 2-bar phrase. I put it back in as the second half of the second measure. So when so after I played that little descending triplet line, I start with an open E. We talked about that, and I come up with an E power chord, and I'm using the 2 pluck technique where I pluck the strings simultaneously, and that's literally just like 1, 2, and then I do a 2-note kind of rake, 2 muted pops, pop, pop, to set up going to this G. So I'm just. Now let's isolate that technique for a second. First of all, you just get your 2 fingers under the strings you're going to pop. In this case, the D and the G string. I'm plucking the E and the B note, 2nd fret, 4th fret, respectively. And I do mutes. So I'm kind of just. I just got done playing the power chord. Instead of lifting my hand or doing anything else, I just lift the pressure on it, and I come down with a G. To get the speed up, one thing that seems to help my students when I talk about it is I put both strings under equal pressure, and right before I pluck the index finger first, and then I just let the hand pull up on the second one. See, I get that real quick. It's a nice setup. You can use that in your own bass lines when you want to really like set up or draw more attention to a downbeat. Putting those 2 percussive mutes right before it does that. So let's get that just for that beginning. Oh, wait a minute. I've been telling you guys wrong the entire time. I go back to the E there. I apologize. All right, so that's it. So that's the first part of that measure. Now after that, I play some 16th note upbeats. And it's again that E, that 2nd fret E. So, it's confusing. If you don't read music, it'd be confusing for me to count it out. But let's just say, like after I do that, hopefully you can feel that. So I end up going da da boom, and and that's where I put the G in. I was ahead of myself earlier. So let me play that as slow as I can to still make it sound good. So you can tell after I do that, I go back to another E and I play the power chord again. Now this is a little tricky. I shorten the duration of that. I make it more of a stab instead of a sustain, because I've got to get my hand back up to the 12th fret A and go and start the sequence over. Again, let me play the entire thing slowly. Hopefully you can follow along. I just like the line. It's a lot of fun to play. I think it uses a lot of the fingerboard, which really translates to having a wide range of pitches. So I'm not just stuck in just this area of bass. I'm going up, bringing some brightness and higher frequency to my bass line, then I'm descending down, playing something low and throaty, and I think it creates a neat balance. I love the rhythm aspects of it. Now, you might have noticed when I do go to that G, which I was so anxious to, I put it in the wrong place earlier, I bend it a little bit. And I don't have that under notation because it's not a requirement. You can play the line like that. It sounds cool. That's the minor third. I'm using that to lead into the E. But a cool way to kind of give a little swampy, bluesy flavor to it is still play the G and bend it up to a G sharp. And I like doing that. I think it adds a contrast to this kind of mechanical that's kind of machinery-like. To add a little human quality of a bent note, I think is a cool, like, little piece of cayenne pepper you can throw in there to spice up the entire bass line. So let me play that. See how it sounded? I love that. I love that a lot. So what'd you think? How is this working for you? Are these, we're at 19, side group 19, have the group of them. Sure, some of them probably are stuff that you've already played or a style you're comfortable with, but have you learned new stuff? Can you comment below? Which were some of your favorite grooves? We're coming up on Big 20. And I want to keep doing them as long as I can keep creating them and hopefully make them powerful for you. Is there other things you'd like me to show you about slap bass line creations? The other questions you have. I'm trying to be a little more descriptive on my note selection because of a great comment I had from one of you, my family members. So I'm trying to tell you why I use certain notes and what the effect I'm going for is. But I'm open for more suggestions. That's what makes the channel, I think, really cool, is that it's really in reflection of what you guys want to hear and see most. And I dig that. As always, guys, if you have questions, comment below. Email me at dtitus@daletitus.com. Comment on our Facebook page, which is Everything Bass with Dale Titus. Just go to that Facebook, search for that. You'll find our page. Ask your questions there, because not only can I answer it, there's so many great bass players from all over the world there, and everyone chimes in. Everyone's super respectful. I really dig it. All right. Hey, wow. Oof, boy. I got really into finding the encore items for this day of shooting, and I just found albums that I fell in love with all over again, and today's no different. This is Chaka Khan's I Feel For You from 1984. It's funny how when you get bass players together, and because of me at one point being the editor of a bass magazine, working for one of the best bass schools in the world, all these things, it's obviously you get the opportunity to talk with a lot of bass players. And over the decades, this one, not just one album, but Chaka Khan is such an influencer to bass players because she's always had great songs. She's always had great bass players, great drummers, great bands, great production. And it's no secret that, she has launched 1,000 ships of great bass players. I mean, I know Nashville bass players that just are in love with Chaka Khan. Clark, what up? So anyway, I got back into her, and sure enough, this album, of course, has I Feel For You, which is one of her biggest hits. MTV loved it. It's still on heavy rotation on a lot of the classic rock stations, the classic funk stations. But overall, that whole album from stem to stern, beginning to end, is really great, especially if you need new ideas. If you feel, and believe me, I think we all do this, and if you don't, I question if you're really being honest with yourself, but I feel we all start playing the same slap lines or the same fingerstyle funk lines. We get in these muscle memories, we like the feeling of it, we like everything about it, so we sometimes just start regurgitating the same stuff over and over again. You need new input, you need new inspirations, and if that is the case, grab this album. Now, to be truthful, Nathan East is the bass player on 2 songs, and a lot of the other songs, I believe there was another gentleman that played bass on another song, and then there was some key bass used, or sequencer programming. You know, this was kind of the dawn of having guys program bass lines in. Don't let that like deter you, because no matter what instrument played it, you can get ideas for like note placement, accents, rhythmic ideas, and this album is a cornucopia of that. So so check it out. You know, if I just described you and you feel like every time you pick up the bass, you slap, you play the same thing, check out this album. Why not? You know, just listen to it, see if you can cop some licks off it. Maybe not even a whole song, might even have a whole measure, but if there's a cool rhythmic thing that you like, grab it for both slap and fingerstyle. And you'll quickly find out this is the reason why Chaka Khan is so influential within the bass community. She's a great drummer, by the way. So anyway, there you have it. Slap Groove 19, Chaka Khan, I Feel For You. Hope you enjoy both of them, and let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about the Slap Groove? What do you think about Chaka Khan? Is there another album you would recommend to your bass brothers and sisters to check out from Chaka? Boom, down in the comment section. That'd be great. Guys, as always, I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me. You know, these are trying times right now, and one of the things that just brightens my days when I can see I get a new subscriber to the channel. So if you have the time, if you can just scroll down, find the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, throw a thumbs up like on the video if you liked it. I don't want you to do it if you didn't like it. But all these things help to grow the channel, and it's getting closer to what I really want it to be. I'm working on some ways to do some remote interviews, because it looks like that it's not going to be really easy in the next couple months to actually go and do interviews in person. So I'm going to try to do some remote interviews. I'm going to do some tests this week, hopefully. All right, guys and gals, love it so much. Please, so much. Just let me know what you think. Give me ideas. What can the channel do that would benefit you best? I want to fill in that gap. If you're just having a hard time finding a bass instructor, if you can't afford a bass instructor, how can I make these lessons better for you? And as always, if you want to get deeper and take it more seriously and get more out of each one of these videos, become a Patreon subscriber. Go to the link in the description below. Click on that. For $8 a month, you can actually get a backstage pass. That gives you access to over 100 video posts, which these are the posts for every video I do that has the lesson sheet, and in some cases some audio files that you can download. I'm also planning some more member exclusive things in the future, but I'm just running out of time. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video.